Welcome to Journalism with Mr. Karle. Today, I want to talk about what are the parts of a newspaper. So to start, this is your typical newspaper. Not unlike a newspaper you'd find at the grocery store or the convenience store. It's got all the regular stuff. Well, let's go through this sort of one by one. The first thing is the masthead. The masthead serves to tell the reader information about the paper, its title, its editors, and its location. Information about the staff, those types of things. Ours obviously would say the Maroon Report and the date that it's published. This is a typical article that you might find inside of your typical newspaper. These are all the different parts. Let's go through this one by one. First, you've got your typical headline. Headline summarizes the news article in a single line. Gives the reader, it's the first thing that grabs the reader's attention, draws them in. So here we have McKinty quits. This sort of draws the reader, why did he quit? We know that the whole article is going to be about him quitting, but it doesn't answer all those other questions, which the article later will. A drop head. There's sort of a subheading underneath the headline. It gives a little bit more about information about the article. So for example, he was a scandal-plagued premier, right? So not only did he quit and his name, but a little bit about why he quit. The byline. This is important. This is where you take credit for your work. So you can see here is the byline of the article. So the author of the article appears before the article itself. So headline, drop head if you want that, and then the byline. Next thing is the dateline, Toronto. So that just tells you where it's taking place, right? And in what city that the article is written in. We probably may not need that because all of our articles are essentially going to take place in Greenville. So not every article needs to have Greenville written before it, but that's the dateline. As we go forward, the first paragraph of the news article contains the 5 W's, right? And catches the reader's attention. So here you go, beaten down by a series of scandals, Ontario Premier Dalton McGuinty shocked Ontarians late Monday by announcing that he was adjourning the legislature, so on and so forth. So it gives us who, what, where, when, and why. And that's the lead. The thing about a news article that we'll talk about is that you should be able to get all your information that you need to know about the article right in the beginning. The folio, not such a big deal, runs along the top or the bottom of the page, and it contains the paper's name, date, section, and page number. So, for us it would be the Maroon Report, Greenville, New York, and then the date and what page you're on. Or, if you're in features, opinions, etc. Next would be a caption, right? So a good news article, in order to sort of draw the reader's attention to it, would have a picture. Underneath the picture, there should be some sort of a caption that describes the photo, right? So Grumpy Cat is the new villain in Iron Man 3. Funny, right? But yeah, so here's the picture. Here's the description of the picture. And the picture should serve to bolster the appeal of your article. Pull quote. Something else that grabs the reader's attention. A quote pulled out of the story to attract the reader. So, as you're reading through the newspaper, you'll see that there's the article, and then sometimes you have, in big, bold letters, a part of the article pulled out that helps grab your attention because it's an exciting part. Sidebars, if we need a column of extra information about the article subject. So you can add that in. Maybe it's not necessary for the article to make sense, but it's an interesting piece of information. And if there's room, you can have a sidebar that you can add additional information. right? So it doesn't, if you don't have a sidebar, it's not like the article doesn't make sense, but if you have the sidebar because you have extra information that coincides with the article, you can add that in. All right. This is just a little thing. A voice in a news article should be third-person objective, sort of like if you think about the textbook voice. So, no thoughts or feelings, just reporting on events. No I, we, our, you. No bias or opinion. Also known as the active voice, right? So you're sort of telling this in third-person objective. It's not your opinion, you are just bringing the reader the facts. Layout of your typical news article. Alright, so this is the typical news style is called the inverted triangle. The most important information is the beginning, that's what we call the lead. That's why you have who, where, what, when, why, and how. Followed by supporting and general details, right? So because this was done because in the past, if they needed to add something to the newspaper, they could just cut off the bottom part of the article because it's the least important information. Remember, a newspaper is meant to bring the reader the news. So you want to get the news fast, and a person, if we write in this format, in the inverted pyramid, a reader could scan the lead of every article and basically get all the news they needed to get. If they were really interested in an article, they could go through and read the rest of the details that make the article a little bit more interesting or give it some more depth. But realistically, this is the part that they need to get the basic news. Okay, so the inverted pyramid, and we'll look at another format for writing articles later in another episode. So here's your typical article, right? Headline, drop head, byline, dateline, here's your lead, and then here's the rest of the story. That goes with it. And that's the basic layout of a news story and a newspaper. So, thanks for watching.